Holly to Rise. I'm so excited to talk to you. I've been really excited to talk to you for so many different reasons. Holly, also known as Jack River, is an incredible singer, songwriter, and just a multi-talented woman. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so awesome to be here on the podcast.
So you were just performing at Splendor in the Grass. How did you feel? What was happening in your mind when you were singing and watching all these men and women just, vibe with what you were doing?
Oh gosh, I felt so good. It was so Splendor, for anyone who doesn't know it, is like our Coachella in Australia. So it's our kind of biggest outdoor festival. And I played 5 years ago, and so much has happened since then. So for me, it was just like this beautiful cathartic moment where I got to reconnect with like thousands of people and sing these songs that have been released over the last couple of years and talk about being a mother on stage to thousands of people. And yeah, it was just a magical feeling. Like it was like a time marker, when you get to those lines in the sand in your life where you're like, okay, we did that and now we're on to the next chapter.
Was there a sense of like surreal for you? There were people like Lizzo there, J Balvin, and I'm fans of both. And then I saw it looked like you had a surprise visit from someone that you shared on your social media with Tony.
I did, yeah. Tony Armstrong is this gorgeous, very attractive man who's on our TV stations most days over here. And I asked him to come out and sing with us in one of the songs, which he'd never done before. So it was a really fun moment for like the crowd and him and me, because I got to sing with a sexy man on stage.
You're like, and you get a rose, and you get a rose, and it just looked like you were just vibing. The energy was incredible.
It was really, really cool. So yeah, and I felt like, I guess, I love the theme of this podcast. I can talk like this, but it just felt like deserved. Like my team and I have waited for so long to just get to that festival because it got cancelled a few years ago and all that COVID jazz. And we just felt like, we deserved to be here and this is a beautiful moment. And it was just like real synergy. So yeah.
I loved the dress too. I loved all the colors, what you were wearing. I was like, oh, so that leads me to kind of what I was going to go to next. I'm a huge Stevie Nicks fan. And every time I'm listening to your music, I'm like, she reminds me of a younger version of Stevie Nicks. And I know why. It's the vibe. It's the mysteriousness that you carry in your songs. And like the way you perform, that's what it is. And I had to share that with you because what you're doing is so amazing. And I think I want you to just don't quit, like keep going. Like you have this new album, Endless Summer, that came out. Super huge fan of the song Honey. There was a lyric in there that I was like, ding, ding, ding. All the light bulbs are going off and it's just great. Your voice is very magical. So
thank you. It's such a compliment to hear that and really beautiful to just remember, Stevie and her energy and like, and that, because yeah, it's so important to remember these incredible people that light the way, and especially women, right? And Stevie, I love how she is like she's like communicating with the stars or something. And as you say, invites this like mysterious, sparkly, like otherworldly thing in, and that's definitely what I'm doing and probably need to lean into more and go more down the Stevie path. But that's a very lovely compliment. So thank you, Hannah.
I think what you're doing is great. Be you, but I'm saying like I was like, wow, this is so crazy how much you remind me of her and all the different things that you've been doing. So I also watched you unravel your album Endless Summer. You opened it, you like the excitement was there. Talk to me about this new release.
Oh yes, well, Endless Summer's taken a few years to get out to the world, and I feel like I originally wanted to write like a protest album because of everything that's going on in the world, but as the time rolled by, I needed to just escape more and more and was falling in love with this again, on my first album, I kind of leaned into escapism and I was like, all good, we're doing it again. So, yeah, just tried to build another world for people to kind of slip into and get lost in, but also something that keeps one eye open all the time. There's little, hints throughout the record to be like, even though we're dreaming, let's stay awake kind of thing. And so, yeah, like getting it in the mail and opening it for the first time is just a beautiful moment, like any author or anyone who works in the cloud and then gets a physical object. It's so cool because so much of our lives and our industries are up in the cloud and like numbers
Mhm.
on screens and stuff. And when you get that thing in your hand, it's a very human, okay, like I did it.
You did it. That's right, you did it. And not only are you doing that, but I mean, you're doing advocacy work. You are a new mom. You're traveling. How do you? What's the energy? How are you keeping that alive? And how are you keeping that balance? I hear you giving away mom hacks and traveling in airports, and can you take your baby here? And I kind of laugh because, once upon a time, that was not the case. And you were quoted as saying, hey, there needs to be this change for moms in music that want to bring their babies. So you've got a lot going on. So how do you kind of keep it all together? And
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm 8 months into being a new mum, so I feel like as someone who could be termed as a workaholic, I'm just hitting the like balance point where I am realizing the pace that you need to like cruise down to do motherhood or being a mum or parent properly. Not properly, but anyone will understand. Just do it well. And yeah, I think like any mum who works just says like you will never find the perfect balance, and because I'm always saying to them like I think I'm getting it. I've almost got it, and then just like no, you will never find the perfect balance. So I guess my intuition is just like just try to make this work and focus in my work. I'm focusing on like the most impactful stuff I could be working on. So right now I'm working on like our most important national political reform and working at the top of the team and pulling really big awesome things together, whereas usually I might get stuck in the weeds and work on like, I don't know, 10 different things, but I've kind of cut my work at the moment down to like, yeah, the most impactful stuff I could possibly be doing and say no or delegate the rest. So that's what I'm doing with work. And with Maggie Time, that's my daughter's name, I guess I'm just learning how to put my phone away and just be there on the days I'm with her and go to the local library and sing songs like we're doing that this morning. And yeah, it's so wild, the different mind spaces that a
yeah,
working mum.
I have five, and
Oh
I
my
work.
God.
Yeah, their ages are 11 to 31. I have grandkids, and so what I was going to tell you is there is no manual. There
Yeah, I
is
should
no
be
ballot.
interviewing you. I think
There's
I need
no
to.
ballot. There's no.
Yeah.
I always say progress over perfection because it's never going to be perfect. You just kind of. I feel like it's a juggling act, and you just kind of do it day to day. Luckily, three of my older kids work with me, so that's very helpful. I get to spend a lot of time with them, working together. And then my younger one, she gets to watch, from behind the scenes. And trust me, it makes an impact. So your beautiful Maggie is going to love as she gets older to embrace what her mama's doing. So
Oh, that is so cool. And I think I'm going to be calling you and being like, what? How do we do this?
you can
That's
call me
amazing.
anytime.
Thank you. Yeah, that is incredible. And I just don't you think it's still so underexplored by our culture talking about this and how on earth mothers and fathers, but especially women do it, and what are the kind of mental tools that we that people like you have crafted already that I can learn from. Like, it's
Wine.
just still
It's
feels
wine.
like such untouched ground.
Yeah, it's wine, Maggie.
Okay, it's
It's
mine.
it's wine, yeah. When Maggie cries, it's you just have a little glass of wine and you just breathe, you know? When she's laughing, you embrace the laughter. When all these different things, like when the kids are being crazy, you know, I remember when my kids were younger and they were cutting each other's hair, and that's a moment for every mother to experience. A good little small glass of red wine is the key, you know? You
Okay.
just have patience and a really good sense of humor. So
Yeah, fully. I've never been a drinker, but now I am beginning to understand why all my mum friends are like addicted to wine. So thank you. All right, I'll go buy a bottle this afternoon.
when you are in create mode and you're writing these songs, where is a lot of this inspiration coming from?
I guess it differs from song to song, and it's like wherever I'm at as a person and what medicine I need in my brain at the time. So yeah, like sometimes I've needed to escape and make a fantastical, perfect, sugary sounding world, or other times, like in Holy Men on the record, I was feeling, very much anti patriarchy vibes and needed to express that. So I just really follow what I need as a person at the time. I'm not actually someone who sits there and tries to like construct songs. I just wait until I need to write one and then I do it. And it's always you go through spells of thinking, oh my God, I don't write songs anymore. Like, that's so weird and awkward. Am I done? And then all of a sudden, something really good or really awful happen, and all of a sudden, there's a song in my brain. So I think it's just my exhaust, like emotional exhaust pipe somewhere in there likes to make music.
So, do you don't experience like the burnout or kind of, like I write a lot and I get writer's block. It's a real thing. Does that ever happen with you when you're in create mode, you just kind of get stuck? I mean, you have a beautiful daughter, so I'm sure you could make a million songs just off of being a new mom and embracing, having this beautiful young life you've created. But do you ever experience that kind of, you know, where you're just stuck, like what's next or
Absolutely.
what?
Yeah, no, I've had it for like a year until this week, actually. It's like, yeah, I hadn't honestly written a song for almost a year, and I started to think maybe I don't write songs anymore. I don't know. Like I do, like you, I write in my diary quite often, but similarly, it takes like dropping into your body and being honest with where you're at to write well and write good songs. And I think with motherhood, I've been just still in the like frozen, like, what the hell is happening? What is my life? Think like phase, and I'm just starting to break out of it and drop into my body, and like with that comes awesome writing and songs and ideas, and you can like feel the world again when you drop out of that like kind of anxiety of the first, I don't know, 8 months or year of motherhood, which sounds like every woman goes through. Like, you just need some
Yes.
time.
Yes. In the sense of you as a businesswoman, talk to me about that. What are some of the biggest challenges that you have faced outside of the pandemic, being a woman business owner?
Like when I was 21, I kind of entered the music industry and was doing deals for Jack River and found my awesome record labels and managers and stuff. But when I was 23, very early on in my career, I started a music festival in my hometown.
Awesome.
And yeah, it was like, I guess my first outside of Jack River, which is a kind of incremental business, it was my first big risk as a young person and proper entry into business. And gosh, it taught me so much. We ran three festivals and it got to around 5,000 people, which is like a small to mid-sized festival in Australia. And I partnered the festival with one of our largest promoters here. They're called Secret Sounds. They run Splendor in the Grass, the one I just played at, and they're partnered with Live Nation globally. So I started that, and gosh, could go into a million stories, but I also started a platform and concert series called Electric Lady. So at the time, I don't even know what year it was. I guess it was just post Me Too. So was that 2017 kind of?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that was I guess my reaction to Me Too in the music industry, and everyone kind of complaining that there weren't enough females on lineups in Australia, but no one was really doing anything about it. So we created Electric Lady, and it was like an all-female lineup festival that happened at a number of like big venues in the country. And we also had a platform online that profiled women doing good stuff like you do here, and also just making connections between leading women in sport and music. And yeah, I guess it was like just the early days when places like this was starting to happen en masse, and we were probably a little bit early before that real energy kind of kicked in globally. But it was a lot of learning and I guess experimentation with creating a concept and turning it into a business, and having some, big failures and big wins and exciting stuff happen. And then, the pandemic hit. So everything in music, like most of my business interests are in music. So it kind of forced me to draw back a little bit, and now I'm just coming back and looking at what I want to do next. But amazing experience starting a business at 23, and
So
wheeling and
young.
dealing, and
Yeah,
yeah.
I love it. So I'm always fascinated behind the artist breakout hit, and yours in 2017, Fool's Gold. I'm so curious about the backstory.
Yeah, of course. All right. Fool's Gold. I think at that time in my life I was like chasing after this dream in music and chasing after a certain like love interest that just wasn't happening. And I was like putting all of my worth into these, people, whether it was record labels, managers, this kind of almost imaginary like potential love. And it's just I just was feeling so tired, like I couldn't keep up with where my value was placed, which was not within me at the time. And um I was in New York at the time on my own, trying to get a record deal over there and walking around the street, like, when you've just had enough, you've just like almost lost it, and you're like, I need to walk and move and not spiral any further. So I just went walking, and a few days earlier a guy had said to me that he doesn't like roller coasters. Very random. I love roller coasters, big fan. And it just I was like, the line, "You don't like roller coasters. How could you ever love a girl like me?" kind of just came
Ah,
into my head.
okay.
Yeah, and I just kept walking. I was like, "This is cool." Um, I kept walking. I was walking around like the Lower East Side with all the cool little crafty shops and stuff, and I saw like some stars in a packet, and like plastic stars in a plastic packet, and I was like, this idea of me manufacturing my magic or putting it in a package for other people wasn't working. Like I needed to move beyond putting my magic in a packet and thinking it's gonna grow from there. So like Our Stars came in a packet of 2, came into my head, and then I walked past the bar Fool's Gold, which is still there in New York. It just all like landed for me that I was chasing all this fool's gold and it wasn't making sense. So, and I was like, I just heard the chorus in my head, like fool's gold shining in the night, so easy on the eyes. Like it all looks so beautiful and pretty, and it would be cool, but it's all fool's gold to me. So yeah, I went home and wrote like most of the song in my hotel that night, and like recorded a little shitty demo on my phone, and then walked around the city till 1 a.m. listening to it, imagining this song.
Wow. I knew
Yeah,
there was a story behind the story. So that's going to lead me to my next question. So, in the summer, the song Honey, you say emotion is a game until you light up your home. And
it's a
I
big
was
one.
like, mic drop. Can you talk to me about where that particular verse came from?
I can, yeah. It relates to some big stuff going on in my life. But yeah, this movement the West has taken to like take these beautiful Eastern things, like it can start to say that like emotion isn't real and warranted, and bring that kind of ideal into a relationship. And I just think that that's not right for women. Like our emotions are really like magical things that we intuitively listen to, and they drive us to really important places in our lives. And so this
Agreed.
is yeah. And so
Agreed.
I don't want to lose emotion. I'm like not into that whole like emotions aren't real kind of thing. And so that line is like, emotion is a game until you light up your home. Like if you keep seeing emotion as something that's not real, at some point you're going to turn around and your home is going to be on fire. Your relationship will be on fire. So yeah, it's about that.
I love it. I love it. It's one of my faves. So we're gonna break protocol just a little bit, and we're gonna bring in Stephen to come in. He had a couple questions for you. He's a
Cool.
big fan, so I'm gonna bring him in here.
Hi, Holly.
Amazing. Hi, Stephen. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm one of the music nerds here, one of the many music nerds here at She Rises. So I just had to ask you a couple quick questions. Because
Amazing.
I've been listening to your album. It's summertime here in California, so it's the perfect time for it. And one thing that really stuck out to me is the overall production. From the moment I listened to Real Life, the first song, right when that drum loop drops, I get like a wave of nostalgia. And I'm like, I feel like this is reminiscent of the music I grew up with, like the early 90s stuff, which I absolutely love. The album is so cohesive, yet each song is unique in its own way. So if you can give me any insight on your mindset going into that, how do you achieve the overall vibe on Endless Summer?
I love that. Well, I try very hard to keep a vibe together, and I know like the songs are quite different on this record, so I had to try extra hard. But like yes, it's absolutely early, mid, late 90s, early 2000s. That's when I grew up as well. So I'm always drawing the kind of sentiment that we felt in that time. Like things were just perfect and like not fucked up basically. So let's bring that back a little
For
bit.
real.
But yeah, I try to very much like map out the visual and sonic world that I want the record to take, or a certain song. And I think I bring in a lot of really strong references and keep checking the music against those to make sure that it is like achieving that kind of stylized thing. And yeah, I use like Pinterest boards for every song, and
Oh,
the
I love
album.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So every song has a Pinterest board, and the album has a Pinterest board. Um, and I'm just kind of always like engrossing myself in the vision all the time. Um, And that's something that I just love doing. I guess it's like being a film producer, or it's that kind of approach, is like, how perfect can we make this? So yeah, I love that process of like, I don't know, just leaning into the stylization of a record.
That's cool. I'm definitely sleeping on Pinterest, so I need to download that app and try that out for myself.
I mean, that's just me. Like, everyone has their own way of like bringing their imagination into line. Yeah. But I know I love the seeing things when I write music. So it's like, oh, I'm in a movie in my head.
Yeah.
A music vision board. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So one other thing that I wanted to ask you, because in all honesty, I'm like a huge Tame Impala fan. I think the term fanboy is accurate. And so, yeah, which is how I've come to know over the last decade Matt Sav's work with, he's taken those iconic photos of Kevin for Lonerism. He's worked with Pond and Melody's Echo Chamber. And, your music fits so beautifully well with all of those artists. And he's directed several, I've lost count, a bunch of your music videos. So my question really is, like, how did that first come about? And what was just the experience like all of those times working with Matt?
Matt is the best. And yeah, I'm the biggest fangirl of Tame Impala ever. And it's such a compliment to hear that, because I'm like, I feel like I want my music to sit in that world, but I don't feel cool enough. So like, that's but Matt is, I met him through Johan at my label many years ago. I guess it is like 6 years ago now. And he's just he's got the coolest, wackiest imagination. And he's a creative who just, you say, I'm thinking of like a sparkly unicorn riding on a rainbow in Texas, and he'll be like, I got it. He's just one of those people who can immediately jump to wherever you are. And yeah, we had so much fun making those first 7 film clips together. And I've been thinking about him a lot lately, and like make stuff again with him, because he's just so fun. As you can see in the film clips, there's, horses and racing cars and mermen kissing in ballroom, and like it was achievable. And more in music, like the budgets for film clips are just going down and down and down and down, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
We need these magical worlds to stay. And yeah, so anyway.
Well, again, it's like back in the 90s where a music video would be the budget was like for a movie. So now it's just so much different.
Yeah, I think it's a real shame, to be honest. And I hope that we can wrangle it back, or it's not like we'll wrangle it. The internet has to decide for itself whether it wants cool magic film clip worlds or whether it just wants artists talking about what they had for breakfast. And
I don't want to know what you had for breakfast, but I definitely want to see that magical creativity side for sure.
Yeah, I want to see mermen kissing, and I just like, yeah, we've got to figure out how we wrangle that back in, or like make the kids realize how fun it is to have weird worlds in music. Because yeah, I don't want to share what I had for breakfast, or like what necklace I'm wearing, or whatever.
Thank you so much for answering my questions, Holly. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for jumping on, Stephen. Appreciate you watching and listening.
So let's talk about you as the advocate. I know you have a huge passion and heart for climate change and just some of the things that are going on over there. Talk to me about that. What is most important to you, or what are you working on currently?
Right now, I'm working on the campaign for an Indigenous voice to Parliament in Australia. So we live in a country that was inhabited by Aboriginal people, First Nations people for many millennia before white settlement, basically. And right now, they are not recognised in our constitution whatsoever. There's no recognition of their prior ownership of the land or that they are the first people. And there's no mechanism for them to comment on any laws and policies that affect them specifically. And they face just like far greater health issues, incarceration rates, racism in society, where as a country we're going to a referendum, which is like a vote where every single person of voting age has to vote in October, and we'll decide whether the country wants a First Nations voice to Parliament embedded in our constitution. So I'm working on that campaign because it's just, I feel so important for every other thing that I'm interested in doing in my lifetime. And it's also really important to the elders where I grew up. I'd met with them and they said they want it. And I just, jumped in and got really involved. So I'm working on that and doing really exciting things, working on a national concert and working on getting other kind of actors, artists, people in the media to be a little more across it and do whatever private kind of education they need to do to feel comfortable to speak out. So that's what I'm doing at the moment.
And I am wishing you the best of luck. I can only imagine the difficulty. You know, when anyone's asking for change, there's so many barriers that have to be broken through, but I'm sure you'll be able to do it. I have no doubt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, there's many incredible people working toward it. And it's reflective of everything going on globally. Like, it's time to listen. So
I agree 100%. There's something else that I also saw that you talk about or share, and that is, do you love the ocean? Is that kind of like your zen downtime?
I do, yeah. The ocean is just my church kind of thing. It's where I grew up right beside the ocean. I'm actually here in my hometown at the moment. It's just over there, and I guess for anyone who grew up by the water, it's just the place I go to cry and laugh and swim and dream and everything. So yeah, I've got like quite a spiritual relationship with the ocean and nature, and also in an advocacy sense, you know, the ocean is our carbon sink, and it's going through a lot, and it's going to change a lot over mine and Maggie's lifetime. So I'm keen to do anything I can to, help it.
I love that. I wish more people were like that we had a big, huge world movement for things like that. It would make such a difference. But, you know, you're the one leading you're the one carrying the torch. So just keep going. And I think the more you stand up and fight for what you believe in and the goodness, I think it matters. I think one little step, one big step, any step at all towards the right direction can change a lot of things. So
yeah, I totally agree.
Follow and see what happens with that. So you have just been this busy bee. I mean, literally everywhere, just singing, performing, writing, advocating, being a mom. And so what is something that you do on your downtime to help kind of, I guess, get that energy back up again?
I feel like, I'm in a period of needing to slow down, but I think writing for me in my diary, is the mecca of just coming back to myself and finding the rest and reassurance that I need to figure out, what's going on internally and externally. So when I get an afternoon to just write, I walk away feeling so good. Are you the same? You're an author, yeah.
I love to write. It's therapeutic. Because it kind of helps me, like we have everything in here and here, and it has to come out, it's got to come out. It's therapeutic. And a lot of times you kind of get the message from the mess, so to speak, or it leads you into something different. I've written about so many different subjects that are passionate to me. And I find the more passion you have about something, the more you can write about it, the more you can sing about it, the more you can talk about it. You don't have to practice because it's what's in your heart. It's what you're passionate about. So it's journaling, writing, singing, all of those things I find to be incredible gifts that we've all been given. And I hope more and more people use them because it's magic when you're doing it, So
it really is. And I think social media for me has had a big negative impact on my relationship with writing. Like where I used to go immediately to my diary, I'll go to Instagram and scroll, and then I'll lose the energy that I was about to dive into. And I feel like sad for that generation that didn't have no socials, because things like writing, every time we were going to scroll, we were like writing, the world will be a different place. But I definitely personally need to stop scrolling, start writing.
I recently interviewed a beautiful reporter from Australia. She took the leap and left Australia, and she came to New York to be a journalist here. And she said that she misses home a lot. We had some really great laughs. And one thing that I will never forget, she shared with me, the one thing she said she would never miss from Australia are the spiders.
Yeah.
Is that a true thing? Is that a real thing?
It is a real thing. Like, it's like I don't even know a life without spiders. And, but spiders are so funny. Like here in Australia, I swear I won't see one, but now that we've talked about it, there'll be a huge spider waiting for me somewhere. But they're like, a lot of big huntsmans that are like, this big. You guys have some hectic spiders, right? You've got like tarantulas, don't you?
Yeah, we do. But like the way she's describing them, I'm like, oh my gosh, So I just had to ask you, is that a thing there?
Yeah, spiders and snakes for sure. They are all around, and I'm definitely scared of them, but still don't like killing them unless they're really scary. I mean, with Maggie, it's funny how ruthless you become, where, I used to be like, don't kill the spider. I'm like, kill it. So,
So what do you think is next for you? I mean, you have this incredible new album, Endless Summer. You have all these incredible songs on there. I mean, what's next in the horizon for you and Maggie?
Well, Maggie's just going to be living her life and enjoying the ride, I think. She's a pretty magic gal, so she'll just be coming along for the moment. But I'm really excited to, I guess, join my worlds up a little bit. I've done a lot of advocacy and like political work privately, and I'm really excited to, now that this album's out, write about it more, talk about it more, and lean into that part of my career. So I don't know exactly what it looks like yet, but I'm doing a lot of writing. It might be some kind of book and like leaning into that more. And I don't know, we'll just see what songs come about with the music. I'm so keen to come to the States and do more stuff in your amazing country as well. I love New York so much. I've spent so much time there, and you guys do magic well. So I'm keen to come and be a part of that.
You. So I have one last question, and I know everybody has said, okay, where did Jack River come from? But I want to know, was there another nickname that you were called when you were a kid? Like, what did anyone have any special names for you?
Let me think. I mean, my middle name's Isabella, and my mum calls me Isabella. And then those two friends that I made the Jack River up with two friends, Simon Woodpecker and John Scarlett, whose names are Annalisa and Grace. And they would sometimes call me Crankin Rankin. So that could be my Las Vegas name when I come to visit you.
I love it. I'm writing it down, actually. I like that. Okay. All right.
Amazing. But I was thinking the other day when I first came to New York, I got offered a record deal and we had to play this like secret show for the executives. And because I was not, don't find me FBI, but I wasn't on a working visa at the time. So I had to like do it a little bit secretly. And I made up this band named Nevada Dice Club.
We have one of those here.
Do you? A Nevada Dice Club?
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. She said, FBI, don't fire me.
Yeah, don't fire me, don't find me. But yeah, I'm like, I think we need to get back to the like Nevada Dice Club days. I'm ready for my Nevada era.
Well, I hope you make it this way sooner than later. I know you have so many people who want you to stay over there and travel and tour there, but we would love for you to come to the States and perform here. And there's a lot of things too, Holly, that you can advocate for here. I mean, there's so many different matters for the world that, yeah, I could see you just doing it. So
I know, right? I've been thinking of coming to work on your election.
You are more than welcome because we need the help. That's for a whole nother podcast episode.
Yeah, episode 2 coming soon.
I mean, the truth is we definitely need the help. I couldn't agree more. It's almost embarrassing. But I'm so thankful that you joined us today and took the time to talk with us. And congratulations on becoming a mom of a beautiful baby girl, and just for all the amazing accomplishments that you're doing. You're so young. You have so much more ahead of you. And don't even look for the training manual because it doesn't exist. Just keep going and just, live in the moment. And like you said it earlier, you said, being present, putting that phone away, all of that, it matters. And then when that creative vibe's coming in, ride that wave and just continue to create. We need it. The world.
Thank you. I will. This has been such an inspiring conversation. So thank you so much, Hanna.